All right, welcome to another edition of the Investing Across Borders show. My name is Miri Lenov, and today we have a very special guest, Sandra. So thank you, Sandra, for joining us to share a little bit about um, Southwest Florida. And I think Shama is here. I'm going to let her in as well. Hi, Shama. We're live. So I think we're live everywhere except for maybe YouTube. YouTube sometimes acts funny, but that's okay. We're on Facebook and we are on LinkedIn as well. So, Sandra, so the first question I have is first to introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, who you work with.
Thank you very much, Mary, to invite me to this live opportunities available in Southwest Florida, and why now is the best time to act. I'm a real estate
Yeah,
agent for 22 years in the Southwest Florida area. I have been helping buyers, sellers, but the best part, I've been helping investors to actually come and see the opportunities that we have here in Southwest Florida.
amazing. Yeah, so let's start off with before I start off, Shama, did you want to add anything before we start?
I wanted to say hi first because I was muted. So, so hello, nice to meet you, Sandra. I
Nice
mean,
to
we've
meet
been
you
interacting
too.
everywhere, but we've never really met in person. So very nice to meet you.
Nice to meeting you
Thank
too.
you for coming today. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for invite.
Awesome. Yeah, so I think the first question is really like the obvious. Why Southwest Florida and not any other part of the country? Yeah, right? So why don't we start with that?
The first thing is the beauty of Southwest Florida, our beaches. They are unique and everybody wants to be in the warm weather. And we actually have beautiful beaches. And the most important right now, what is bringing it, first of all, is our weather. We have a lot of seasonal people coming from different parts of not just national, also from other parts of different countries. But as you know, the investment part in Southwest Florida is one of the biggest attractions for a lot of people. Why they buy here? We have so many people that they are buying just to rent the properties and have a very good return to their investment. So I would say that's one of the biggest draws to Southwest Florida.
You're muted.
Yeah, you're muted.
Yeah, sorry about that. I try to mute myself so that I don't make any like noise. So I'm sorry. Um, so I know you work with investors because obviously a lot of our clients have connected with you.
Yes.
So I don't know if you can share with us some of the properties, obviously without mentioning any names, but some of the properties that maybe you looked at that investors are, would be interested in. You can even share like price ranges of what a typical home or an investor property would go for in Southwest Florida. I think that's something very relevant that a lot of people would want to know.
Great. Well, we do have different kind of investors. We have the investors that they just buy in one property, and we do have the investors that they are buying, I would say, between 50 to more like 30 doors. And that's what do they want to accomplish with that investment? That's another question for maybe another day. But for this one is I'm going to give you and use an example of one property that it is located in 1252 Southeast 8th Street, Cape Coral, Florida. And why I'm using this property, because this property was actually sold under price. So I am not just looking for properties that they are in the market. I also help my clients to find properties that they are off out of the market, not just looking in the website and go on Zillow, go here and there and find that property. No, I actually do the research and find a property that is exclusively that for them, that it will bring not just an income, but it also will bring equity right away.
Hmm.
So
Right.
the equity part in this one was that it did appraise for 426 and we sold it for 375. So that's the first equity part in there. And the other thing is that one side, it's a duplex, one side was already rented. and that side was paying 1,700. And then before closing, we found the other side tenant for 1 year. In this case, this is an annual rental, and we're
Mhm.
talking about 1,900 per month. So we have two incomes from one property that it was bought for 375. And if you do the numbers of the incoming number for the rentals, and then you take off all your expenses, you will be ending up with a 10% cap rate, which one everybody wants that 10%. Now, not all the properties brings you the 10%. Some of them will bring you from, I would say, from 5% to right now 10%. Right now, Southwest Florida is one of the highest markets for annually rental. And also, we do have the opportunity, like in Cape Coral, to do the Airbnbs.
Mm.
So there is so many opportunities for everybody. It depends, like I said, what type of investment you want to do. And that's why we do the consultation before we even start the process.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I actually stayed in Cape Coral with my family a few months ago in
Yeah,
an
did you
Airbnb.
enjoy it?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. And it's I mean, I live in Plantation, so it's not like it's so out of our way, right? But it's just a change of scenery and different parks and the beach and stuff like that. So it was great. I do think that a lot of people are starting to go more to visit Southwest Florida, because sometimes they don't want to go to maybe the Orlando theme parks, and South Florida is getting too crowded. So it's definitely very, very appealing. I don't know if you can speak about the area and how that's growing. I know that you were hit with a hurricane, not too long ago. Unfortunately, I hope things are rebuilding. But maybe you can talk a little bit about, um, what the area looks like and what are some of the things that people are looking to do in Southwest Florida.
Well, the beauty of Southwest Florida too is that we do know that our highest months are January, February, and March, and April for our
Hmm.
seasonal people that they come. So a lot of homeowners that, let's say, they want to invest, but they also want to buy a property to come and visit. They purchase a condo, and I'm going to talk a little bit more the Naples area because I was talking about Cape Coral. Now I'm going to go a little bit in the Naples area. If you buy a condo that the price is 250 to 300, probably I would say 350, probably not that far from the beach, 15 minutes. Who doesn't want to live as close as that for our beautiful white sand beaches? And you buy that, you rent high season, January, February, March, April. You get really good income from that. And then with that income, you pay in all your expenses for the year for that condo. That's how good is the income of that rental. So that's one example of that. And why people are coming January, February, March, April. They want to escape from the cold weather. And we
Right.
have here, we have here beach, we have the best restaurants, we have boating, we have so many activities that people really are coming more and more.
Hmm.
I,
Yeah.
I'm going to say something. I don't want to be that it comes and change like Fort Lauderdale. I was visiting Fort Lauderdale 2 days ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot even drive. We don't have that traffic here.
I know. I live in Fort Lauderdale. Well, close to.
So
Um,
yeah, I
yeah.
was actually visiting Fort Lauderdale, and I was in Plantation. I was like, it took me 8 miles, almost like what 30 minutes. I was like, that doesn't happen in Naples. We do have the Airbnbs. We have up to 30-40 minutes further from the beach. That's not far, and those are homes more affordable than everything that is close to the area that it's where you have the parks, where you have the Philharmonic, you have events, there is tons of things to do in Naples, Florida, and
Yeah.
Cape Coral. Cape Coral is more a boating community. If you have, there is some of the rentals that you can actually rent and deck your own boat there. So
Mhm.
if you do, let's say, the seasonal rental, who doesn't want to bring their own boat and be those 4 months here? So
Yeah.
it's really, really amazing to be able to enjoy all these opportunities that Southwest Florida will bring to you.
Yeah, I actually rented a boat and went with my family, and we had a captain and everything. So it wasn't just um we obviously we don't have a boat. If not, would have brought it, but it was you can also rent. People are actually that's their business. They take out tourists and we see dolphins and you see beautiful. It was a beautiful weather. So yeah, I can attest to that. So I think Shama, did you want to say something? Because I do want to get into like kind of like the cap rates and the returns. But maybe Shama, you have a question?
No, I do have a question, but it's more for at the end, not now.
Okay. All right. So why don't we get into that, Sandra? I know that you've worked with investors before, so maybe you can talk about the cap rates and the returns a little bit more, especially right now that people are a little bit worried about why now, right? So why should you invest right now?
So, and I'm going to say why the inventory is up, because in a lot of people, in a lot of places, they said, "Oh, what's going on? The inventory is going up, prices are going down. We don't want to invest." No, that's completely. It's whatever you mind and whatever you will put in your mind.
Right.
Southwest Florida will still be the same. Now, you asked before the impact that we have from the hurricane. The beauty of Southwest Florida is that they do have the money enough to clean up as fast as they could. And they did because they wanted everybody to be in season, able to go to the beach, able to enjoy all what we offer. So they had to have all that ready, and we're lucky that we do have the county that is taking care of everything. You can drive by the beach, you won't see. Are you going to see houses rebuilding that they were like the ones that close to the water? Yes, of course. But we're lucky that we can do something as fast as we're doing, and you won't see like massive devastation, because we even if we had in some areas, everything is already cleaned up and ready to have our visitors here.
That's so
Like I
great.
said about the cap rates, it always will depend what are you investing. And you know that right now, while the rest of the nation rental markets are slowing down, Southwest Florida is not. Our rental is the highest that you have been seeing an increase in rate since October. And I would say the area, and I'm not going to exclude Naples from that, but the biggest area right now for that is Cape Coral and Fort Myers. So the number of rental increases, the rate is really, really high. So depending of what you invest in, you will be getting between 5-10% max. I'm not talking about commercial because that's another, we can talk about
Mhm.
that another time, but this
Right.
is more from annual and for Airbnb's investment.
That's amazing. I love that. So we're almost out of time, Shama, but do you want to ask Sandra a question?
Yeah, it actually relates to what you just mentioned, and this is more a general a question. Like, what would you say to people who are now a little bit more reserved about investing in general in real estate due to the economical environment and everything that is happening? What would you say to them? Because we get that a lot. We hear a lot of people who are saying like, don't invest right now, etc. So, what would be your input about this?
Well, first of all, we don't have a magic ball to say this is what's going to happen, but we use stats.
Mm,
And in our stats in the Southwest Florida area, we do have that the properties are going to increase in value. Why they're going to increase in value? They say, people, well, we're getting so much inventory. Our inventory is only for 2 months and a half. What is the normal inventory that we will have in a market that it's really stable? It's 6 months.
mm,
But right now we only have 2 months and a half. Are we still in the highest market? Yes, we are. Are we going to still going up? Yes, we are. And with the rentals as high as they are, and if you have the money to invest, won't you want to do between 5 to 10% of your money instead of that money having in somewhere that is not giving you that amount?
mm,
And not only that, remember that is the what is coming from that investment. What about the equity? The market is not that our prices are not going down.
mm.
And the increase, the percentage that we had the last 2 years, that was fantasy. That was something that it didn't happen. Like I said, 22 years in real estate. I have friends, colleagues that they are many years, and they haven't seen those 2%, 3% from last year. Like I said, it was fantasy. Today is reality. The rates that we have today, they are low as what they used to have before. What was the interest before? They were 10, 12, 18. We had seen 18. So why not take the opportunity to invest today? Because your money will get equity and you will have an income.
Yeah. I feel like you're talking to me.
You
It's
know,
like, get your money out of the bank and just.
I went to a conference, I think it was a month ago, and the speaker said, if you don't have your name in a deed, this is the year. And if
Yeah.
you have a home and you don't have an investment, this is the year.
Yeah.
Don't wait.
So talking about that, just one final question because you're saying this, and I think a lot of people are a little bit they don't know how much they would have to invest. So just a an Airbnb home or an apartment or a condo or something where you can actually rent out for either short term or long term. What would be kind of like your minimum investment amount um, that you would recommend somebody to put into a home in Southwest Florida?
Well, we're going to talk about condos because that will be the minimum amount that you can invest. The condos are the lower prices of an
Right. Yeah.
investment right now. And you can find, I would say, if I'm representing you, you can find something for 250
Okay.
in a
So
condo.
200. Mhm.
Yes. And I'm going more to the Naples area, which
Yeah.
is something that it will bring you a good return. Now, if we go a little bit into houses in those prices, we have to go a little higher, I would say, in Lee County, which it would
Mhm.
be Cape Coral, Fort Myers. You can also invest a little bit out east in Lehigh Acres, which it will be more annual rental than seasonal or Airbnbs, but you still have to be in a house, I would say 350. And when you jump to 2 units, which will be a duplex, you have to be around I'm talking about good ones,
Yeah.
375, 500. If you want something newer, it will be more. Now, if you're talking about 12 units, depending what location you will be, you're talking about, I will say, above the 3 million.
Yeah. So it's if we talk about, I mean, Naples is only an hour away from Fort Lauderdale, guys. Like it's not that far. I know people who work in plantation and actually commute 3 times a week because it's so much cheaper and it's so much more enjoyable to live in Naples. So this is real. This is actually people who are moving away from South Florida into Southwest Florida. because it's just a different lifestyle. If you like South Florida and you love, going to Miami and all that, great, that's your thing. But for a lot of us who have been here for 20 plus years, South Florida is a very different environment than what we grew up with. And especially like my husband, he's been here for 30 years. So I definitely can understand, what you're saying. In plantation, you're not going to find something like that for that amount. You're
No.
definitely, it's just not going to happen. So this is a great opportunity for people who are looking to invest. So definitely connect with us, set up a consult with us so we can really understand your goals. Our to schedule a consult is investing across borders /consult. And I know one of our team members is going to put up the link for that. And yeah, this has been so great, Sandra. Thank you so much. Any last words before we go?
I would say I would recommend, don't really miss when you have some money, leverage the lender, leverage the banking, use that money, invest. That will create your legacy.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't have to come up with a $250,000, $350,000 right away. You can just put a down payment on it and get a mortgage or something. Like there's a lot of creative ways to go about it. So this has been awesome. Thank you so much for the information. And we'll be sending you more people along the way who are interested in
You?
doing this. I might be one of those.
That would be
Shema
great.
might be one of those. It's just like, you see it too close. And a lot of times when you step out a little bit and you ask these questions, it's like eye-opening to see and to understand that you just need to spend a little bit and let your money work for its own, and without having to put money on like the stock market or things that are just volatile. So
Exactly.
that's
And a
really
lot
what
of
this is
people
about.
says real estate also is not like they are afraid. Don't be afraid. I've had bought my first investment 20 years ago with a credit card.
Wow.
With a credit card. And that was something that helped me to build what I built.
Mhm.
So don't be
Excellent.
afraid. Take the risk.
Yeah,
They
totally.
see it that way. But if you don't do it, you are actually cutting your wings to
Mhm.
do what you want to do.
Exactly. I agree 100%. Just as a reminder to everybody, if you schedule a consult, we have partners all over the US, all over the world, people like Sandra. Like you listen to Sandra, you're paying attention. This is like insanely what she's saying, like about um, what is even possible for you. So definitely schedule that consult. We also have a masterclass coming up next Wednesday at 12:30. Where Lauren is going to be talking about the top 10 reasons why you should be investing in the US today. And we're going to talk a lot about real estate. So make sure you get on that. The link for that is investingacrossborders.net/masterclass. So it's very easy to remember /masterclass/consult. It's just our website. And we'd love to see you guys there. Thank you, Sandra, for joining us. Thank you, Shema, for being here. We'll see you
Thank you, Marie. Thank you, Shamon. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye-bye. Take care. We'll see you next week at another edition of the Investing Across Borders show, and we'll see you in the masterclass as well. Bye-bye, everybody.